Cali, Cali, Cali. I'm going back to Cali to cover the boys. I'm going back to Cali, to Cali, to Cali. I'm going back to Cali to cover the boys.
Hello friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Lou. As you can see, I've got Michael walking into the camera as well. And I always say, friends, the Dallas Cowboys will make you drink. So pour yourself one. If you have a Joe Boo shot glass, and some of you people I met out there yesterday, grab a hold of it because I passed out a few of them to some great fans out there. Joe Boo, I'm gonna need to steal some of this rum, buddy. We're gonna have to share our sorrows together. Whew. I'm gonna water mine down because it's an hour-long show. Now you may be wondering why I'm wearing sunglasses. Well, the theme of the show tonight is being united. As Michael has a bag of chips over there. The glasses say United on it, as well as the Dallas Cowboys United. That's where we need to go right now. We need to be united on all fronts because the Cowboys aren't going to get a break from anybody. The Dallas Cowboys are going to get the short end of the stick every time. We got other players that are out there that have done far worse than Zeke Elliot. But for whatever reason, they deemed Zeke Elliot public enemy number one. Zeke Elliot, the scum of the earth, who needs to sit down for 6 games. Now, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't crazy about Boobygate. I'm not crazy about my players going out to nightclubs all the time, but when you're 21, 22 years old, I certainly went out to clubs. I certainly hung out and had fun, and probably did some things that I wouldn't want to be covered right now. But there's so much doubt in this situation. For the NFL to say that the court system doesn't matter. We don't care that the police didn't find enough evidence for a charge. We don't care that the district attorney couldn't find enough evidence to make a charge. We are above and beyond them. Okay? Because basically that's what they've said. But I dare say, I don't think we're in as bad a shape as all the trolls and the haters who are out there laughing. I dare say giddy right now as I go through and look at these comments from all the trolls, the Eagle fans, the Redskin fans, and all those guys that are literally like, yeah, party time. You guys lost Zeke for 6 games. Well, true. But fortunately, we have a couple of things that are in our favor as far as the running game goes. We're going to really find out which is more important, a great quarterback or a great running back. Because a lot of people think that the only reason why the Dallas Cowboys made the playoffs last year was because of Zeke Elliott. He was a big part of that. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. He was a big part of that. But an even bigger part was the fact that we had a quarterback who played for 16 games. You can argue, and I have on many occasions, that 2015, we had the 6th best rushing attack in the NFL with no passing attack whatsoever, yet we only won 4 games. We have a lot of weapons on this team. We have a lot of firepower. We have a great offensive line. And as I was telling you about my theory, which thus far has been proven accurate, GWD 2 equals +1. The New York Giants have no running backs. I dare say that our backup running backs are better than what a lot of teams have in Darren McFadden and Alfred Morris, especially with that offensive line. So yes, we will take a step back not having Ezekiel Elliott, but we've got a quarterback who can move in the pocket, who has a hell of a lot of weapons. Because here's what I want you to understand too. Let's take the 2014 season. Before that season, the Dallas Cowboys weren't really a running team with Tony Romo. We had a couple of good years with Marion Barber and, I can't even think of his name now. But we never had a 1,500 yard rushing running back since Emmitt Smith. But we were forced into becoming a running team. Because if you'll remember the 2014 season, Tony Romo didn't play in the preseason because he was coming off injury. And when he came back for that San Francisco 49er game, he was putrid. Some people would argue that his career was over with. It looked like he couldn't get the ball past 30 yards downfield. I believe he threw 3 interceptions. He wasn't ready to play that season right off the bat. So what happened with the Dallas Cowboys? They started to say, we can't pass the ball more than 20 yards downfield with Tony Romo right now. We're going to have to run the ball. And hence, the team became a running team. Okay. Situations dictate what you have to do. The great thing about this team is Zeke Elliott played well. He was a big part of the offense, but he wasn't the whole offense. This offense was about as balanced as it could be between the passing, the running, and so on. So, taking him out, yes, that hurts us. But Dez Bryant is coming this season healthy. Remember, he got hurt early in the season, and it took him a while before he got really going. Right now, Dez Bryant is ready to rock and roll out the gate. You've got a motivated Terrence Williams who could have gotten more money elsewhere, but feels this is my team, these are my buddies, and I want to go with this team as far as we can go. You've got a Cole Beasley. You've got a Jason Witten who's thinking my time is coming short. It's now or never. And then you've got some new faces like Rico Gathers, who's shown in the first preseason game 4 catches and an incredible touchdown catch. That's right, Michael Holmes' buddy, Rico Gathers, and I'm sure he's going to be getting that jersey soon. So, from the standpoint of firepower, we got a Ryan Switzer. We've got other ways to go. So, I'm not so worried about that. We may have a hard start if the appeals process is overturned rapidly. But I dare say this. We may start out slow this season because of all the suspensions we have, losing David Irving and Nolan Carroll and Zeke Elliott, as well as a few others possibly. But by week 4 and week 6, all of a sudden we're getting a whole lot more firepower to carry us through the rest of the season. When teams are losing guys, we'll be getting back stars. We'll be getting a pass rusher in David Irving. We'll be getting a running back in Zeke Elliott like none other. So, yeah, we may have a rough start, but it's not how you start in the NFL. It's how you finish. And I dare say that this may be the event that makes our team united, that brings everybody together. There's always something that will really make a team circle the wagons and come together. Be it a traumatic injury to a player, be it some external force like Deflategate. When you look at every time New England has had a penalty, They've gone on to the Super Bowl and won. Maybe this is our Deflategate. Maybe this is the chance that we're going to go ahead and get running roughshod to the NFL. So let me get to some of your questions and stuff, guys, and then we'll start talking about what I've seen in training camp so far. Texas Screwhead, welcome to this party, man. I don't believe I've seen you before, but Rico Gathers, I'm really high on him, and Brian Switzer, they'll both be good. John Montgomery, Robert, how you doing? Cowboy legend, Patrick, Russell Westbrook, my Cowboys family, Letitia. Hey, Letitia, I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Charlie Matthews, Shallow Hal, Marion Johnson, Jackie, nice to see you, Jackie. Sven, all the way from Germany. How you doing tonight, Sven? SpongeBob, okay, game tomorrow. I will be at the game tomorrow. In fact, I'm going to be tailgating with great fan out there, Boris and his group. We are in LA, so I can't wait for the game. We've got seats. We're 9 rows from the bench. We're right behind the Cowboys bench on the 50-yard line. So I'm going to get some great pictures. In fact, I got a lot of great pictures and stuff from training camp yesterday. I just have not had time to get them all downloaded and really start posting a whole bunch of them and stuff, but some great videos and shots and things like that. Unfortunately, I just don't have enough time in the day. I almost could use an assistant to help me do a lot of this stuff, but you know, it is what it is. So we got Robert, we got Rod, we got Corey, we got Patrick, we got 40th Block Street, Tobias, Robert R, Tony King, AS, meeting up with Shango. Yes, tomorrow Shango's going to be there early. Unfortunately, he ended up having to leave early yesterday because he's got those kids that he's got to take care of, and you talk about a blessing. So we've already been talking back and forth. So yes, me and Shango will be getting together tomorrow. My Cowboys family, Calvin, Stephen Burnett, okay. Unfortunately, Law Nation Jackie won't be able to be here. We're working on see if we can do like a live stream together or something to go. He's in San Diego with his wedding anniversary, and you know, you got to take care of Mama. So I was hoping and praying that I was going to meet up with him now, but I think we're going to end up meeting up with him sometime at some of the games in Dallas. Check Zeke's Twitter. He made a statement. Okay. Well, I know his people made a statement. Let me go there real quick. It's still kind of a surprise. I told you guys before that something was going to be coming down the pipeline. I'd heard through the grapevine that this week is going to be a bad week, and it definitely was true. So it is what it is. It's funny how Roger came out and said that there's no decision that had been made or anything like that and stuff. But from the way that letter was written and everything else, between the paperwork that was going back, they've known for a while. They were just waiting for the right time to do this. They didn't want to do this before the Hall of Fame game because, of course, we didn't want to have Jerry Jones, you know, go ballistic on them. And I honestly believe that a lot of this is not just about Zeke Elliott, but it's also about getting Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, over the course of the last, say, 2 years, has really, not that he didn't have power already, has really taken the bull by the reins. He was the lead guy to help get the Raiders back into, not back into, but to Vegas. Jerry Jones, of course, with the Hall of Fame induction and all that, Jerry Jones being more and more vocal, Jerry Jones being part of a deal in New York and stuff with the NFL and things. Jerry Jones is kind of taking over the NFL, and I think this is a way of trying to put Jerry back in his place, because Jerry Jones kept going out there in the front saying, I've looked at the evidence and there's nothing there, and the NFL's not going to suspend him. And I think this is one of those ones where it's like the mafia, kind of, you know, put a horse head in his bed, so to speak, to put him back in his place, to calm that roll down a little bit. So, no, I don't see a statement from Zeke Elliott on Twitter. I've seen the response from his people, basically saying that they believe that a lot of that is Todd Bailey. Thank you. Forgive me, guys. I am doing this remotely, guerrilla style, so to speak, and I'm having a bit of a hard time because I'm not in my normal setup. So appreciate the super chat, Todd Bailey. But make sure you ask a question if you do a super chat, so that way I can be sure to answer it for you guys. And I appreciate all the super chats and all the support and stuff that we had. Now, I got to tell you, yesterday was incredible. If you haven't been to training camp, although it's changed a little bit since 2 years ago when I was here, it's a great experience because you're real up close to the players and you're seeing them out working out and you're getting a feel for the team and you're starting to build some excitement for the season. You know, when the season comes, you're not going to get this kind of access where you're literally 20 feet away from the practice field and the players and stuff, and you're, you know, getting a little bit of shout outs and seeing them up close and personal. So if you ever get a chance, definitely it's worth the while coming through. Now, one of the nice things, or another way I should say that Jerry Jones is working on getting money is, if you don't have a Dallas Cowboy membership, then you can't get but so close to the field. They have bleachers that are on one side, which is away from the main practice field. If you end up getting your Cowboys membership, and you can buy it there for $20, you end up getting a Dallas Cowboys United water bottle, and inside the water bottle you'll get your Cowboys United sunglasses, a sticker, and of course a towel. So really, it's not a bad price to pay to be able to get that close to the players and stuff. And you'll see Rowdy there. I didn't see the cheerleaders here this time, but it may be because we're further into camp and it's also during the week and not the weekend. So we had a great time. We met some of you fans that are out there. I'm hoping to meet more of you guys tomorrow. And we will actually be tailgating with a friend, Boris, on the South Lawn, I believe it is, of the Coliseum. So if you guys are anywhere near the South Lawn, be looking for me and Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as my son Michael, because we're going to be there ready to rock and roll with our Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, Jerry Jones is not happy right now. You got alert from Bleacher Report. Okay. Let me check the wires here real quick, but I'm not getting anything. Usually 12 up is usually a lot quicker than anybody else. And I haven't seen anything from them. Zeke does have a statement on Twitter. Okay, I'll have to look that up and check it out and see. There was a guy who called Joe Boo Joe Bloom. Okay, that's a good one. Mark said, hey Mark, sent you a pic for my set. Thanks Mark for sending the pic. Mark Sampson is actually in England, so we got fans that are all across the world, and I appreciate that. So what was it that Zeke put out in his statement? I can't find it right now. I've already got a lot that's kind of going on here to try and look up Twitter as well as talk to you guys. The game tomorrow night is 6 o'clock here in LA Pacific. I'm not sure if the NFL Network is going to carry it live or not, Sven. They'll definitely have the re-air of it at some point. Dak will surprise people that the key will be secondary and passing. Yeah, I agree with you that, Stephen, with Zeke being out, we're definitely going to rely on the defense a lot more. One of the things I really enjoyed seeing yesterday was getting up close to the defensive line and seeing the work that they're doing with Taco. You can see in some of the drills that they're really doing a lot of teaching with him, and I got some great pics and stuff. But they had, like, basically, they have him doing pass rush drills. They've got two guys holding dummies. The coach is behind the player who's rushing, and he's doing different stunts and things like that, and they're working on the technique. The thing that I liked about Taco is Taco has actually got a very quick first step. Now, you can tell that he's hesitating at the moment because he's not sure exactly where to be. And that will come with time. He'll get away from that because he's still thinking about the plays and the moves. When you play football, you have to literally be ready to just react. You can't think. There's not enough time because it's just like instantaneously, you're focusing in on that football moving. You've got to be ready to just react. It's just like somebody's about to hit you, you duck. That's how you have to be when you're on the football field. and he's not quite there yet. He's thinking about, I've got to move because I'm about to be punched. And until you get to the point where you just automatically have those reflexes, it takes time. I'm not worried about it. A couple other things that I saw that I really like. David Irving is a tall brother, and he has a really great first step. One of the people that I was really surprised about, though, was actually Dan Skipper. I said that he's definitely a project type of guy, and I still believe he's a project. Being 6'10", the guy is 6'10", over 300 pounds, but it's not a 300 pounds that's sloppy. When you're 6'10", 300 pounds is not a whole lot. His frame is not much bigger than mine, if it's bigger than mine, but he's got a lot more height on it. He actually could get down pretty low, which I'm surprised, because in football, it's all about leverage. Generally speaking, the low guy wins the battle. So being 6'10" is really a disadvantage as opposed to being, say, 6'4", 6'5". It's harder to get down underneath that defensive lineman. And I think, are we freezing? Okay, no, we did. But I'm surprised at how well he moved. Rico Gathers. When you see Rico Gathers just standing around against the cornerbacks, the height difference alone, if he can get the blocking down, because that's also key, it's more than just catching the ball as a tight end. That size of his and the way he can move. Sometimes you get guys that are really tall, they're lanky and they're kind of awkward that are running. He's very, very fluid in his moves, and he can move as well as being able to jump. Literally, when you look at a lot of your cornerbacks that are 5'10", 5'11", a few of them are 6'1", 6'2", when you're 6'7" or 6'8" and you can jump the way he can literally get up 2 feet higher than some of these cornerbacks. And his stride is so fluid, it's almost like a track sprinter. So I'm really high on him if he can get the blocking down, and I'm hoping that they're working on it. So I'm really impressed with him. The other thing that I really enjoyed seeing is you can feel Dak Prescott's aura on that field. You can feel his leadership on that field. You can see his swagger. Not arrogant, mind you, but you can see that this is his team. And I think he's going to run with it. I keep hearing, of course, all the talking heads, the sophomore slump and everything else, just like they kept talking about the rookie wall. But I don't think that's going to happen. And I don't see a whole lot of bad passes out there. I don't see a whole lot of bad moves. Also watching in practice, although this may change a bit, you can see how much more they're trying to get Zeke Elliot involved in the passing game. They have him in a lot more drills, a lot more passing routes, and a lot of plays that they ran in camp yesterday that were pass plays to Zeke Elliot out of the backfield. So we'll see how that changes and so forth, depending on the suspension. Oh, Dez. Oh, I got to tell you, Dez. When I was here in the last time, 2015, this was after the contract holdout. I remember saying on the Benet Emery show that Dez, to me, looked out of shape. More times than not, I saw Dez on the sidelines basically like this. Like he was sucking wind. Like he was out of shape. Like he was just trying to catch his breath. You didn't see him running around any more than he had to. And to me, I think that whole contract holdout hurt him, because when he got in there, and I keep telling you, you can go work out on the exercise bike, you can go running, but until you're out on that field working out, playing football, it's a different kind of shape. It's quick burst. So you have to understand there's being in shape and then there's football shape. And you'll remember Dez Bryant got hurt right off the bat. And I think it was because Dez Bryant wasn't in shape. The way Dez Bryant is flying around on the field right now, the way he is jumping, the way he is smiling and happy, you can see the joy and the excitement on the field for him. And I dare say that he is probably going to play better than he's played in quite a while. That's my thought on it. I believe with him working out with Dak Prescott this whole offseason, the fact that we have a quarterback that's been able to work out all offseason is going to pay dividends. And I see, how about them Cowboys? Thank you very much. See what your comment is there. How about them Cowboys? Yeah, that may have been a mistake, having my daughter on being seen on this video, because I got to be honest with you. I'm going to say this one time, and I'm never going to say anything else about it. But dudes, act like you've seen a woman before. Some of you guys are some thirsty brothers, man, and you know, that is my daughter. You know, I know it's YouTube and some of you guys are immature, but damn, chill out. If you think that's going to work to get a woman, it's not. Stephen Barnett, I agree with you 100%. That this offense is going to be a bastard, with or without Zeke. I still say that even with Darren McFadden and Alfred Morris and Rod Smith, that we still have the best running back situation in our division. Please tell me who in our division has a better situation without Zeke Elliott. Tell me, because I don't see it. I don't see it. And tell me who has as many weapons offensively as we do. I mean, the Giants have some wide receivers and stuff, but they also have Eli Manning, the turnover machine, and they don't have an offensive line, and they don't have a running back. So from the standpoint of our division, our offense, I still think is far and away better than any of them. But we'll see as time will tell. I'm thirsty and I'm dehydrated. Yeah, well, you know, you definitely need to get yourself a woman there, buddy. Okay, cruising. Yeah, well, I know cruising. I know you guys are feeling it right now because the thought of not having to face Zeke Elliott. But here's the thing I want you to think about, though, cruising. Zeke Elliott in that first game we played last year played awful. In fact, Stephen A. Smith said he reminded him of God, I'm having a brain fart. That or too much rum. Of the bust in Cleveland, Trent Richardson. They said, you know, the way he played, he kind of reminded me of Trent Richardson. So we didn't exactly run the ball against you guys in that game. And had Cole Beasley not dropped that short touchdown in the first half, had Dez Bryant had a catch, no catch, had Terrence Williams not stepped out of bounds, we would have beat you guys in that game without Zeke Elliott being a factor. So don't sleep on the fact that we lose Zeke Elliott possibly for that game. We still have all those other guys that should have beat you. So enjoy bragging about that game, because I believe that the Dallas Cowboys are all going to come together united to play with the attitude it's us against the world. We're getting hit from the NFL left and right. They're going to push it all the way. Well, my son Michael was saying to me, he said, well, if you think about it, if you look at it the way New England with Tom Brady, I mean, we could say this is a deja vu moment. You know, we're going through a suspension. We're definitely going to be probably going to court with this thing before it's all said and done. And maybe it's next year before he actually gets suspended. He's like, would you be satisfied if next year we got a Super Bowl a la New England? I'm like, you know what? I don't care how we get a Super Bowl. We just need to get one soon. But I would love to see it happen this year. Why? Because it's sooner than next year. But I would like to see it because of all of the people out there that have just been picking at the Dallas Cowboys, saying that Dak Prescott's just a dink-and-dunk quarterback. He's not ready to lead a team. He's going to have a sophomore slump. Carson Wentz is a better quarterback. The Dallas Cowboys, they're a bunch of lawlessness. You know, it's the culture in Dallas that allows this to happen. It's Jerry Jones. the Dallas Cowboys, the accident waiting to happen because they're going to let you down. I would just like to be sitting there in Minnesota, in that stadium, as the cannons of confetti go off, and Roger Goodell comes out with that Super Bowl trophy and would have to hand it to Jerry Jones. That would be the ultimate bitch slap. Doesn't matter what you do to us, you can't stop us. That's my dream. And I believe that they can do it. What am I looking for tomorrow? I am looking for some work to get done, some good playing time, and nobody get hurt. We're getting thin because of suspensions and some nagging injuries. Tyron Smith worries the hell out of me. He should be ready to go by the beginning of the season, but you don't know how much it's going to affect him or if we're going to have to deal with this during the season. We can't afford to lose any more offensive linemen. Chaz Green has been the glass man that he's been throughout his career. He's already sitting out another week with his shoulder, so you're not looking at being able to count on him. So we're going to start getting thin on that offensive line, so we can't afford any injuries there. Defensive line, we definitely can't afford anything there. Linebacker. So I'm looking forward to getting these young guys some playing time and hopefully getting them out without getting hurt. You know, we're looking at other teams. Redskins lost a linebacker today, ACL for the year. You're looking at other teams where guys are turning their ankles and getting nicked up pretty bad. You want to get through preseason, meaningless time, without hurting yourself. Now, you'll remember last year, this was Dak Prescott's coming out party. Dak Prescott got his first NFL action, and he all of a sudden showed the world. And of course, everybody said, oh, it's just a preseason game. He was only playing vanilla defenses. Yeah. But it translated to a great season. How about them Cowboys?
One hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Well, how about the Cowboys? I think we have to worry about everybody's future. The other thing that I really noticed at training camp, from the time he came out on the field, we've all heard that the NFL hadn't decided anything, as of yesterday and all that, but that's bull. I caught wind last week that something was coming this week. That decision had been made a while ago. It was just the NFL figuring out when is the best time to do this. Friday after the Hall of Fame, when we're already into preseason games. So you've got teams that are trading players. You got players that are going out. You've got games going on last night, tonight, tomorrow, and all that. This is the time, Friday afternoon, to let it go because there's less media covering it. Although, it's not going to go away anytime soon. This is too big of a story. But you can see with Zeke Elliott did not have any bounce in his step. Zeke Elliott, you could see, looked like he had the weight of the world on him. In some of the plays, it was like he was going through the motions. On the flip side, like I was saying, that Dez Bryant is interacting with the crowds, the fans. Dez Bryant is flying all over the field, going all out. But you didn't get that same feel with Zeke, and that's why I was like, yeah, Zeke knows the real deal. Zeke Elliott, I knew yesterday that this was coming today. So that's where we just kind of looked and said, okay, it's coming. When I woke up this morning and started seeing all this stuff coming through there, you could see the train was coming down the tracks. Now, Emmitt Smith is saying, how about the Cowboys, that he's worried about his future? Well, here's the thing that's amazing about this is basically the NFL is talking about banishment. That if he's got another incident, that he could be banished or suspended for a year. And I'm amazed at how,
Ray Rice and
well,
Ray
yeah,
Rice and
but I'm amazed at how we got to this point when I'm looking at
Ray Rice.
a guy that was never charged with anything. So if the NFL has more evidence than the police department thinks have, are they going to turn this evidence over to the police department, and the police department then going to go back after him? Because it seems like they are 100% certain, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that he beat her. So if they've got that much proof, then they should be turning it over to the police department, wouldn't you think? Because basically they're saying, the police department, you guys didn't do your job. This guy's guilty is what you are saying. Space Cowboy 17, thank you very much. Let me put you up on there.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about that Cowboys?
Thank you very much, Space Cowboy. As someone studying law, the NFL suspension of Zeke is BS. There's no evidence the NFL brought forward to prove Zeke's guilty. Free Zeke. That's my thing right there, Space Cowboy. Thank you very much for that super chat. Guys, I appreciate every one of the super chats. Patreon page, we've got a few people that have donated in there. And I take the money that I make on that and I'm putting it back into the show. And I'm looking forward to trying doing more events and stuff like that because it's all about you guys. But I agree with you 100% because they're basically going by their interviews with her where she's saying, I got beat by him. And they're saying that, okay, we looked at the bruises, the marks, and things like that. I'm not saying that she did, but it's conceivable that if you were having any kind of contact with an NFL player, you could go ahead and go to your friend and say, beat me up. And I could turn around and say, okay, Joe Blow beat me up. I was his girlfriend. By the evidence that the NFL said, basically we interviewed her, we talked to some other witnesses, and we believe that there's something that happened. But there's other witnesses that said that she made the story up. So if the police couldn't figure it out, how is it that you guys could figure it out? But it is what it is. You say, man, that might not be a bad idea. Get shirts printed up to say Free Zeke. Well, here's the thing with my other shirts. The black sheep. If this team isn't a bunch of black sheeps right now, I don't know what the hell is, because everybody's against them. Nobody believes in them. They're getting suspended left and right. There seem to be a bunch of outlaws. They're guys that you're not expecting. You know, Dak Prescott wasn't the football factory guy, the prototypical quarterback. You got guys like Nolan Carroll for drunk driving. You got PEDs with guys like DeMarcus Lawrence and David Irving, you know, in their past. Then you got guys like good old I can't stay off the weed who can't even stay on the team and stuff from it. So when you want to call a team a bunch of black sheep, that is our Dallas Cowboys. They get no respect from anybody, no matter what they do. And that's why I think they're going to put that chip on their shoulder and say, go ahead and I dare you try and knock it off. I'll wear one of those. Okay, Corey, I'll have to talk to my buddy and see about getting some shirts printed up there. I'm still waiting actually for my next load of them because I've got some shirts that I owe a few guys that ordered some of them. So I'll get those guys out to you guys as soon as possible. Should I buy a Dak or a Zeke jersey? I'd buy a Dak one personally, just because the quarterback is definitely always going to be there. And generally speaking, a quarterback lasts a lot longer than a running back. But I dare say that Ezekiel's jerseys will probably go up right now because you've got a lot of Cowboy fans that are now getting behind him and everything else, and it's going to be us against the NFL. So watch, like you're saying, free Zeke jerseys and shirts and all that will definitely go out the window. Roger Frazier, you're watching the Giants and not impressed with them. Well, their offense is stuck to highly hell last year, and adding Brandon Marshall, I don't think is going to be the difference maker for that team. That team had plenty of wide receivers. The problem with them is they became too much one-dimensional because they were unable to run the ball. That meant you could kind of sell out on Eli Manning. Even if it was like a run blitz type of situation, their running backs weren't going to take it to the house. That's where Zeke Elliott becomes the X factor for us, because Zeke Elliott can take it to the house at any point. However, Darren McFadden can still run pretty well and get you enough yards to sustain drives with all of the other elements. We still have such a balanced attack. If you are a defensive coordinator, you have to figure out, which way do you want to die? Are we going to say we're going to take the running game away? Well, it's okay. We can shift gears and go to the passing game. Do you worry about Des Bryant? Leave him one-on-one? Or do you double team him because he can go all the way? Terrence Williams can go all the way, especially on broken plays. You'll know Terrence Williams and Tony Romo, most of his biggest plays came to Terrence Williams when he was scrambling around. But then you have to worry about Cole Beasley in the slot, because Cole Beasley doesn't drop much, almost ever. And Dak Prescott can hit that man in stride where he can go right across the middle and has no fear of going across the middle. You look at the New York Giants, you don't have that fear of having to put 8 men in the box to stop a running game. Their offensive line is not good enough to do that, and their running backs certainly are. So you can put more pressure on Eli Manning, and Eli Manning is going to turn over the ball 2 or 3 times every game. And to me, he's regressing. So no, I'm not impressed with the New York Giants. They played really well on defense last year. I got to give their hats off to them. One of the few teams that spent a whole lot of money in free agency and got dividends on that. I don't think they're going to be quite as good this year, but we shall see. The Eagles, I still think the Eagles have a long ways to go, even though everybody keeps saying that the Eagles may have a better offensive line than the Dallas Cowboys, and that Carson Wentz is the better pro quarterback and now has some weapons. Well, when he falls on his face, we'll see what excuse they have for him this year, because my prediction last year was he was going to be a bust, and I'm going to still stand by that. And unlike other talking heads out there that when they say something and it ends up not being true, I'll tell you the truth on what I said. And if I'm wrong, I will tell you I'm wrong. Space Cowboy, that's Tiffany Thompson was assaulted by another woman. Here's the thing I wish we could have come out, because Tiffany's best friend who was in the car said that she asked me to lie for her, and she was in a fight coming out of the club. What I wish we could get is the woman who was in a fight with her, because that person would be the person to say, I kicked her ass and that's where she got the bruises from. It wasn't Zeke Elliott. That's all the proof that you need right there, is to get that person to step forward. But maybe she's a Giant fan. I don't know. The Dallas Outlaws. Yeah, I like that. Although we might not want to put it out there. We may not want to claim that one. I like Black Sheep because that kind of says that we're the underdog. We're the one that nobody cares about or thinks about. Well, like I said, Sven, generally speaking, when you have a quarterback drafted 1 and 2, one of them will be a bust, and sometimes both of them will. I said Jared Goff, going into training camp this time last year, I said Jared Goff, I think, will be a bust. From what I was seeing from highlights and stuff where he was missing players left and right, and he looked like a deer caught in the headlights. And I said Carson Wentz didn't impress me, and I said I think both of them will be a bust. We'll see how it happens, because we've had quarterbacks that have come out and played really well their first year and ended up being busts. Rick Meyer, Seattle. His career and RG3's career ended up being almost exact mirrors. Rick Meyer came out and he was, boom, fantastic, lighting up the scoreboard. But then he regressed each year to the point where he ended up being a journeyman, kind of like RG3, and is out of the league. So we'll see what happens this year, now that they say he has an offensive line and that he has some weapons. Aaron Davis, how are you doing? Aaron, did I meet you yesterday on the field? I believe I did, and I think you made a little drawing for me that I have actually in my camera bag. Shout out to Aaron Davis. Let's hope that the young lady sues Zeke. Okay. Giants suck. I agree with you, John Montgomery. Dak is the next RG3. No, RG3 was an idiot. You don't see you don't see Dak going out there being married and getting a tattoo of another woman on his arm and stuff, or being all in and everything else when he knows that he can't even walk around. Sven, RG was, I think he made a lot of his bad luck. I believe in karma. I truly do. And maybe I'm wrong, but I know when I've done good things in my life, good things have come back to me. And that's the way I live my life. You know, I don't down anybody. I don't judge anybody or try and put everybody in a group and say, oh, these people are that. I judge people by their own character and their own merits and everything else. And I believe if I can do something to help somebody else out, do it. Because in my life, when I've done things like that, it's come back to me and I've been blessed. RG3, he was just living in Washington. I get all the stories and things like that. RG3 was all about himself. He was arrogant. He had guys on his team that didn't like him. And I remember we had a quarterback in our high school. I was a senior, he was a junior. But you want to try and get that quarterback to play as many years as possible to get better and better. But he was arrogant. You know, we were playing a tough game, and he's in the huddle. You sorry, blank the blanks, block. I remember how much we all hated him. In fact, the very last game against McLean High School, we did what's known as a lookout block. You get to the line of scrimmage, and you let your guy go, and you turn around and say, look out. Just let him get his clock clean. I remember seeing games where RG3 would just get plummeted to the ground, and nobody would even go over there to help the guy up. And that was the problem with RG3, where he annihilated himself from other guys. It's like he felt like he is up here, the hell with those guys. That's something you don't have with Dak Prescott. I think those guys will run through a brick wall for Dak Prescott because they know he's genuine, they know he's a leader, they know this is his team, and that's the difference of being a leader. RG3, he wasn't a leader. He was all about himself. When's this going to end up selling Philly cheesesteaks? I like that. How have I been, Aaron? After Zeke Elliott suspension, in some regard, I'm relieved that it's finally out there because it's just like that black cloud that's been hanging over our heads. I'm glad that at least we're here so we can at least go on to the next step. I wish they had done this a while ago so we can go through it and deal with it. But in a way, the NFL didn't really help themselves by doing it now. If they were going to do this, excuse me, they should have actually done it a while ago because then Zeke would have appealed it before and they could have gotten this stuff done before the season and say, no, you're not getting a reduction, you're still going to be suspended. And we wouldn't be talking about this as we're about to start the season. This is now going to put a whole black cloud over the course of the next month going into the season. The question we have is when I'm looking at fans that are sending petitions around there about boycotting games, this is not what the NFL wants. The NFL, it's not what the NFL needs. You've already got concussion issues that we're talking about. You know, those studies are coming out. Now you've got this whole thing where now domestic violence is in your face every single day, and this is going to be huge. Make no mistake about it. You're talking about the running back of the year last year, rookie sensation, one of the top-selling jersey players in the NFL, on the biggest draw team, one of the most valuable franchises in all of sports. And I can dare say that there are fans in at least 78 countries that are on this channel right here alone that are Dallas Cowboy fans. So no, this is going to get ugly. You wonder what Zeke is doing right now? I'd say he's probably meeting with Jerry Jones, his attorneys, as well as NFLPA people, because I can guarantee you the NFL Players Association is definitely going to be on there. DeMar Smith and crew are going to be, they've already sent a response to the NFL a couple of weeks ago with that. And I can guarantee you that DeMar Smith and crew will be all over this right now as soon as possible. Well, Rudy, here's the thing I believe. If he ends up getting the suspension this year, if he ends up sitting out the first 6 games or if it's reduced to 2 or 4, when he does come back, that dude's going to have an attitude and he's going to go gangbusters, a la Tom Brady. Aaron Davis, I'm with you. I can't wait for the game. I've never been to LA Coliseum, so this will be another notch on the headboard that I can put on NFL stadiums and get to see our Cowboys. We're going to be close to, we're 9 rows up around the 50-yard line, so we should be able to get some great pictures and things like that. We're going to have a great time with tailgating with Boris. We're going to see Shango and do some work and stuff with him, so it's going to be a great day tomorrow. I can't wait. Well, Sarah, here's for Dak. I agree with you. It'll be his time to shine. It's so funny to me how everybody is kind of like, oh, without Zeke Elliott, he's not going to win. Take a look at Mississippi State's team. And Mississippi State team, guys, don't get pissed off at me. But in the grand scheme of things, Dak Prescott didn't have a whole lot to work with around him. It's not like he was at Alabama or LSU where he had, All-Americans that are playing all over the team or having 5 or 6 guys on that team that are going to be NFL starters. Dak Prescott didn't have a great running back. Dak Prescott didn't have a great offensive line. Dak Prescott didn't have great wide receivers. What did Dak Prescott have? Dak Prescott had Dak Prescott. That's it, period. And he got that team to be ranked number 1. So when you say that, Dak can't win without having Zeke Elliott, pump the brakes on that one a little bit. He still has a lot to work with, and he's going to show people. They must not know Dak. I agree with you. I love how these Eagle fans are out there pounding their chests right now. Holy Waves 15, I'm glad you guys got out the basement, man. How was the winter down there? Was it cold? Was it damp? You're talking about our defense being trash. Okay. Remind me again what your team did last year. I forgot. What was that record you guys had last year? How'd you guys do in the playoffs? Did you finally get that ring last year? Oh, okay. So until you guys do something or knock us off of the top of the heap, I don't think you really have much to say. I forgot your super chat. I'm sorry. I'm missing a few things here. Yeah, well.
One hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about that Cowboys?
Yeah, well, the NFL definitely, apparently believes her story more than they believe Zeke Elliott's. But like I said, I think a lot of this is, Mark, we are starting to win these trolls. They're not even chatting anymore. That's a great thing. Well, they're still going to be happy. I mean, believe me, I've had plenty of them on here today, happy and partying and all that because they figure that they got us. But they're going to learn that there's still a lot more of this team than just one guy. Apparently, the NFL, here's the thing. The NFL, Josh Brown screwed him. That whole situation, and I don't know how they could have missed that one, but when they said that domestic violence is a 6-game suspension, and you quietly ended up only giving a kicker 1-game suspension, and then it comes out that they had this diary of talking about how many years he ended up abusing his wife, that was a bad thing for him. So the NFL is trying to swing and make sure that they're looking like we are doing something about domestic violence. What their thing is they could say, well, we took one of the biggest stars in the NFL and, we weren't sure 100% that he had domestic violence, but he could have been, so we're going to set him down. It's all about PR. And screwing the Cowboys at the same time. Because they don't want to look soft because now, they're looking at where's our future market? Where are we going to be able to grow? We're beginning to get women that, you see all the clotheslines now. You're seeing the slim fit jerseys and all that stuff. You're seeing Victoria's Secrets at the stadium. We're looking for that new fan. We don't want to get women that were just beginning to get in there off the bandwagon. We want to show how much we care. And that's what this is about. And of course, bitch slapping Jerry Jones. Here comes the giant trolls. Well, the giant trolls are always here. That's good. I don't mind trolls at all. All I ask for is if you're going to come in and talk trash when the Dallas Cowboys are down, when the Dallas Cowboys kick your butt, be sure you come back in here and take your medicine. Because regardless of whatever happens, I'm going to be right here standing up for my Dallas Cowboys. And if your team is better than mine that Sunday and you beat me, I will tell you, congratulations. You kicked my ass. You were the better team because I'm a man. Now, I don't know what some of you fair weather fans are, but I'm going to keep it clean tonight. Yeah, well, Holy Ways, I should have kept it that way. Like I said, man, some of these people were kind of like creepers out there. I'm like, dudes, don't you have any kind of respect? I mean, damn. I'm kind of like, I appreciate you think my daughter's attractive and this, that, and the other, but damn, got me scared for her. But yeah, she's pretty big out there. I'm very proud of her. You want to draft offense next year with the 32nd pick, okay? Holy Way 15 stop being thirsty for her. Oh, Aaron Davis, I hope I see you at the game there tomorrow. I guarantee you there will be plenty of Dallas Cowboy fans there tomorrow. Cowboys abroad, I'm hoping you're right on that one. We don't. I just pray that we beat the Giants because, oh my God, can you imagine if we lost 3 games in a row to the Giants? The Giants would be happy if they only won 2 games next year, and those are 2 against the Dallas Cowboys. I truly believe it because you would think that the Giants would be talking about getting back to the playoffs since 2012. Hey, we had a great season. We made it back to the playoffs since our last Super Bowl year. Do you ever hear any Giants fans talking about making the playoffs? The only thing the Giants talk about is we beat the Dallas Cowboys twice. Is that really all you guys live for? You don't care about winning the Super Bowl? You don't care about making the playoffs? It's only about beating the Dallas Cowboys? You guys just keep elevating us because you're putting us above the playoffs. That's literally what you guys are doing. It's more important for us to just beat the Cowboys than to do anything else. It's sad. It really, really is sad. I mean, I'm happy to beat you guys, but if I lose to you, I don't care about that if I can make the playoffs and maybe go someplace else. It doesn't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. There's only one thing that matters in the NFL, one thing, and that's Super Bowls. And I'm not happy that my son has not really felt a Super Bowl for the Dallas Cowboys. I want him to know what it feels like when those Dallas Cowboys are hoisting that trophy. So, Giants, here's a slow clap for you. Congratulations, you beat the Dallas Cowboys twice last year. This rum and coke is for you. Now, did you enjoy watching the playoffs from home? Okay. Yeah, here's the thing, Jackie. I'm on the West Coast, and it's only 7 o'clock, so I'm kind of like really screwed up right now. And I can't believe it's 10 o'clock already. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and being part of the JSR Sports Report. I'm told that the signal out at LA Coliseum sucks. I'm going to try and live stream tomorrow, tailgating with Boris and things. We're going to see Shango, and if I don't get stuff out tomorrow from the game, as soon as I get back, I'll have plenty of footage and stuff for you guys to share with. I want to thank everybody for joining in, tuning in. We'll get this stuff straight. Don't lose the faith. our team, our fans will all be united behind our Dallas Cowboys. And again, I want to thank you guys for being not just a